Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. This is the show where we discuss how to find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal, making a guaranteed profit of $25,000. Listen, there are some OGs in the real estate investing game, and today I am honored and privileged to have one of the guys who really started my career in the real estate investing space, as I met him along the way doing my first couple deals way back when. Without further ado, let's bring Rob Reinmuth of Acquire Homes to the stage. What is up, Rob? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I love the further a deal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. That's really not helpful.
No, that's exactly what you want, man. We want to further the next deal.
That's right. I'm so deal focused, I can't even get out of the intro,
Exactly.
So you and I have known each other for, how long do you think we've known each other? What, has it been 10, 12 years? What do you think?
At least, man. I just remember I'm out there in the space, getting into houses, looking at foreclosures and stuff, and I'm on YouTube everywhere, and all of a sudden I see this guy named Donnie on YouTube, and he's like, look at this foreclosure deal, and I'm like, hey, why does he get that one? Yeah, exactly.
So and then you ran with the ball. You're the only, I was really worried when I was doing that back in the day. I go, man, once I start doing videos, everybody's going to start doing videos and the market's going to saturate right away. That's not what happened at all, except for you. As soon as I started putting videos out, I'm like, uh-oh. This other guy started to put video content out too. So we kind of
I was totally dominating YouTube for the longest time.
Yes, I remember that.
And then you started dominating. We were like, I was like, I had a couple people contact me and go, how do you get so many views in your videos?
Right.
And I was like, I got to put them down, man. I got to make them stop. And then they would end up stopping because they couldn't get more than 20 views.
Sure. They couldn't get traction, right?
Right. Exactly. And so they finally just stopped, but you and I were head to head, man. It was awesome.
It was awesome. It's a good friendly rivalry, man. I
man.
Deals and talking about it. I'm getting more views than you. No, you're not. I'm getting more views than you. But you always had a real dominating space. How long have you been in the real estate industry here in Colorado Springs? How long have you been doing this gig?
Since 2021.
Okay.
No, 2001.
That's that can't be right.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So 2001, you come in as a typical retail agent. What was your plan? What was your strategy when you first started out in real estate?
Well, when I first started out, I actually was just going to be an investor because I was working at a bank and I was an investor. So okay. I hated realtors. So I thought I'll just get my real estate license and do my own thing.
Yes.
But I'm sitting in a property, I'm rehabbing a duplex that I purchased, and people started calling me going, Rob, can you help me invest? I know that you like to invest, and I know you got your real estate license. I'm sitting there with a 2x4 going, okay, what was your name again? Who referred you to me? Because I wasn't going to be a realtor.
Right.
And next thing you know it, man, I sold one guy 12 homes.
Yep.
And then, it was my first year, I think I sold 12 homes, and the next one I sold 24, and it just kept going up and up.
Sure.
And I was like, I might as well be a stinking realtor.
It's funny because it's kind of the same transition, right? The idea, we started as investors, we understand the investor market, and I think that's an important transition because let's face it, most typical real estate agents don't truly get the investing game. Am I right?
Right. That's right. They don't. They you have to be in it to know. You can't just fake it. You got to be in it to know.
And if you're going to advise somebody on a real estate investment, I think the concern is a lot of people, they want to do a deal, they want to get into investing, they go out and look for a real estate agent because that seems like the logical way to get started. But if the agent, the guy who's advising you on the deal, has never done a deal, that's kind of a dangerous situation, right?
Oh, totally. Let me tell you. So fast forward, I'm actually a broker. I own a company, okay? And in our town, we have about, I think it's 5,400 members of the MLS.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how many realtors, but I'm not bagging on realtors because I am 100% of a realtor, but I do keep track of all the metrics.
Mm-hmm.
And there's about, in the last 12 months, there's about 2,800 realtors that actually did at least one deal. Okay.
Yep.
So if you think about realtors selling normal properties, that's one thing. But then if you take the investor realtors out of there, it's like this.
That's right.
It's tiny.
That's right.
finding people like you and me or whatever, people that know what they're doing,
It's rare.
it's hard to find. So when you
It
come
is.
across somebody, you better have them help you.
And if you really approach this like buying a house from retail, it's not like it's easy. Obviously, there's a lot of factors: emotional, school districts, the
Yes.
kids, square footage, the dogs. That's tough too. But if you're trying to make money on speculating, basically in the real estate market, you better have a pro speculator. It's kind of the difference between like selling a mutual fund as a stock advisor, right, and day trading. It's such a
That's
nice
right.
experience, right?
That's
How
right.
do you
Absolutely.
your clients out of trouble? If somebody wants to invest in real estate, what's your advice to kind of get started in real estate investing? How do you get them going?
Wow, that's a huge question. The first thing I do is people call me. Now, this is me, okay? You might do something different because
Sure.
you might be teaching people how to invest and whatnot.
I
And
am.
there's a million ways to invest, right?
Right.
There's wholesale, there's retail, there's all kinds of different investing. There's commercial, there's flips, there's buy and hold, all kinds of strategies. For me personally, when somebody calls me now at the level I'm at, where I'm not a teacher,
Right.
the first thing I say is, do you have any cash? Right? I
Before
want to
we do
know,
this, do you have any money?
do you have any money? And so are you a cash investor, a loan investor?
Right.
And I would say about 90%
Do not.
are, yeah, well, I don't have any money, but I want you on my team to help me get
Sure.
rich.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. Oh,
No.
I can't,
No.
I'm so sorry. I cannot teach you unless you have at least some cash.
That's right.
So that's the first thing I say is people need to have access to cash. I don't care if it's a relative that can provide hard money, whatever. If you can get some cash somewhere, partner with some friends or whatever,
I love
that's what you need. The very first thing that you need is a little bit of
That's
cash.
so accurate because people, because of the YouTube shows, because of the Carlton Sheets of the world, because you're watching these damn flipping shows on TV,
Yes.
it's created this image that just anybody can hop in and start real estate investing, right? And
Right.
that's the first thing we probably have to fix, right? So you get them in as clients, and like you said, there's multiple strategies. I really focus on foreclosures and flipping. Do you have an area you like to advise people on the investing, more buy and hold or more buy and flip, or what do you like to advise on?
So my advice is when you're young,
Okay.
the greatest, let's say, I'd say the greatest part of investing is time. Okay.
Yes.
Time is your greatest asset.
No doubt.
So I started buying, rentals when I was 22 years old.
Wow.
And I would pay like 60 grand for a rental or 30
Sure.
grand for like a townhome, let's say, right?
Sure.
Those things are worth 300 grand now
At least.
because I was 22 years old. So
Right.
if you are young, I really like rentals.
Sure.
Rentals are where it's at because I look at every single one like a 401k. When you're with an employer, you have a 401k.
Right.
But what if you had 10 401ks?
Amen.
Basically, and you didn't put any of your own money into it.
My
You
favorite.
basically purchase the property, and the tenant is basically putting money into your 401k
Every
for the
month.
next 30 years. So when
That's
you're
right.
retired, you own 10 401ks free and clear.
That's amazing.
You can't beat that, all
I
right?
really can't.
And-
But like you said, you need money to get started. That's the issue, right? A lot of people, if they're coming with no money, what I'm trying to teach on the flipping side is that to build that capital reserve to buy those 401ks, you need to flip some property, have some active trading in the market to build that up, right? So it's really, you need some cash to get going, but you can make more cash by doing a consistent stream of fix and flips.
Right. So you need,
go ahead. Sorry.
You need some cash, but that may not be necessary if you're just starting. Just figure out how to buy a townhome.
Right.
Buy a townhome.
As an owner
Live
occupied.
in it. Yes.
Move
out. Move to the next one, right? That's not your perfect home that you're going to live and die in, right? And you can work your way up to actually generate cash over the ages. Or I've also been talking to, a lot of people that are younger. They feel like I can't buy a home, I can't do anything. Well, you know what? I really feel sorry for a lot of people nowadays because I'm old. And when I was young, I had no cell phone bills, I had no streaming bills, I had no like all this extra stuff. I had no Starbucks bills, I had nothing, right? So I try to teach people that when they're young, especially, my son and different things, who's on his third property,
Nice.
is like, dude, rein back all the spending, because everybody wants their hands in your
Oh,
pocket.
so
Everybody.
true. So true.
Rein back your spending, because what's more important? Having more assets, right?
That's right.
The ages, right? And so, and then you can get more money to flip and more money, but yeah, that's
You got to start somewhere, right? That's really your point. Like, you got to get going. If you can cut your expenses, you can get things going. You mentioned something kind of poignant. You're not really teaching anymore, right? Today, you've got an established clientele. Obviously, you take on a new client today, but I think that's what separates my program from a lot of the veteran agents out there, right? Is I'm focusing on the newbies who need that initial hand holding and guidance to get going. Eventually, graduating to someone like you is an awesome thing, but you got to get started, and it has to be someone who's focused on the early stage education, which is tough for you now, right? It's kind of tough for you to step back. You've got enough clientele where you're kind of used to people who are already established in the investing world, right?
Exactly. I got people that say, I got $1 million. What can I do with it?
Sure.
Right? Okay. Well, let me.
I can help.
But at the same time, I can't teach you, right? So
Right.
I'm a different space than you are in. You are in a space where you're like, I will be your coach.
Right.
I will help you get there. I will do that.
Yes.
I am, okay, you got some money. I'm like an asset manager on Wall Street.
That's right.
Where I know how to buy stuff for you and help you
when
out.
you're already established, people need to be talking to you. Getting going, they need to be talking to me, and that's why I don't look at anybody in Colorado as competition. But I love that we have still this ongoing relationship, because there's no competition. You're in your space, I'm in my space. But I think a lot of people really need that. I know I did that kickstart to kind of get going, and that's where I really fill in the gap. Let's talk about Colorado Springs as a whole. Obviously, you've been around the block a few times. You've seen a couple of market cycles. The last couple of years have been a little tough. Well, what's the future of Colorado real estate for investors, Rob? Where should we be focusing our efforts on making money in the market today?
Interesting question. Well, obviously, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, but I would say the best advice is to buy today. You don't wait for tomorrow, 3 months, unless you don't have any money or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't care what interest rates are. I don't care what prices are. I don't care about any of that, because there's 5 ways to make money if you're buying a rental. There's ways to make money if you're getting a flip. You're getting it on the buy, and how much it costs to rehab. But I hear a lot of people saying, well, let me wait for the interest rates to come down, or let me wait for prices to come down, and let me wait. Dude, no, you just buy, right?
Yes.
And so I feel like in Colorado Springs, whatever angle you want to take, which, when people are listening to you and you're giving all the different nitty gritty of how to invest, and they go, this one's for me. Well, guess what? You get started right now.
That's right.
Go.
I love that. And I think that's the kickstart. Once again, the coaching is where that kicks in for me. It's like people are so hesitant. They don't know where to get started, where the beginning phase is. I think the beginning phase is getting somebody to guide you through it. How did you get started? Did you have a mentor or coach that was really a big difference in your life?
I did. My dad was a realtor, and it was in the 80s, and he was hurting because it was the financial crash. It was the securities savings and loans crash in the 80s. The S&L crash. And so he was hurting, and he was like, hey, Rob, I had a job. He's like, hey, can you come up with a few $1,000, and I can help you get a little townhome or something? And I was like, sure. Can you imagine the commission he made on $30,000? He was like starving, man.
You have to sell, if you got to sell a house to your kid, you've definitely gotten to the point where you're turning the market around, though, right? He knew teaching you this, and obviously it worked out. So kudos.
But let me tell you what was so brilliant about that. My dad was a genius at that, because I come from a long line of pastors, right? We have a lot of people in ministry in my family.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, I actually went through seminary and thought I was going to be a pastor too.
Wow,
but God called me into this thing. So what happened is when you're in ministry, you make $0 in retirement. You don't make anything. You just, you're really serving people. And then you get Social Security, and then our family, we end up giving that away to all the people in need too. So it's like you're broke. So my grandfather was hurting for money, a retired pastor. And so my dad was like, I'm going to take what little you have during this crash, and I'm going to help you make cash flow for your retirement.
Okay.
So he actually said, Rob, can you, I'm 22 years old. I'm in college. I'm living with my parents. I got a job. I'm trying to get through. I didn't think I'd ever be a realtor, right? Nobody says I'm going to be a realtor when I grow up. I'm a pastor and all this stuff. So when he comes to me and says, hey, Rob, can you come up with, some money, and then grandpa will come up with some money, and because you don't have the credit, you're 22 years old, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll use grandpa's credit, and we'll put you in this townhome. We'll rent it out, right? Okay. Grandpa can keep all the cash flow until he dies. And you get zero, but when he dies, you get the property.
Makes
you
sense.
guys own it 50-50. Well, guess what? I owned 3 properties when I was 22 years old. My grandpa got to keep the cash flow, and then he did it with other people in our family. So my grandpa owned like 6 to 8 properties. And he was able to have a happy life until he died. And then when he died, and we got properties.
Took care of you in the end. Well, what a legacy he built, having the foresight to know what real estate was going to do and getting to investing at that age. Like you said, time is on your side. You can't possibly lose an investment that you did that long ago, right?
Exactly.
Real estate market always cycles eventually. And now you've been through several cycles, so it's dipped in value, but it's come back up. Do you still own those townhomes?
I still do.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, I still do. I own all the properties still.
That's amazing, Rob. I mean, it's got to be just free and clear cash flowing rentals at this point.
Exactly. I hate saying that, but it's true.
That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the key is people have to build an income somehow, and breaking into real estate investing is the hardest part. You had mentorship, you had guidance. Here you are today sitting pretty comfortably. If you were to go, if you have somebody, like you said, getting started, I imagine you would tell them, go get a coach, go get some advisement, get some help to get started, right?
I would absolutely say that, because what I just told you is what you're going to tell them. You're going to tell them, hey, look, if you have no money, if you have just a little bit of money, do you know anybody else that has a little bit of money, or you don't have enough credit, or, you can partner together with people too. And, partnerships is kind of a marriage. You have to really be careful with them.
Yeah, it gets dangerous.
But it works when you're investing with, I've had some partners where I've had to sell the properties because they were the worst partners. And I thought I would,
been there,
whatever, but yeah, you know how it is. So, but some people can accomplish their goals through something that simple that my dad created.
I love that. Foreclosures. Let's talk foreclosures. It's been a while before we've seen a lot of them. Now it's starting to happen. We've seen triple the number of foreclosure filings in the state of Colorado. El Paso County is seeing a lot of them. Are you seeing opportunities in foreclosures? Do you think we should be looking at the deals that are coming on the market from the banks and the REOs and the hedge funds this time that are losing property? What are you seeing as far as that goes?
Yeah, so foreclosures, yes, they're picking up, but you know what else is picking up? Just regular people that want to sell their house and their house is trashed. I have seen things. I've sold a couple of them and I was like, I think one of your investors brought me an offer on one of them that I just listed on the open market.
Okay.
Because, it had foundational issues and different things, and people are going, you know what, I might as well sell now. And it's amazing. But yes, foreclosures are ticking up. Because of interest rates, that's why people, hold on a second. I got agents coming in here, they're talking. But anyway, the interest rates have caused some of these people that do need to sell like an estate property or something like that, the prices to come down a little bit, because the guys that have the flips that are beautiful, they're getting the people to purchase them. The ones that need a lot of help. Years ago, anybody would buy that.
That's right.
Oh, nobody's buying that. Just the investors. But the investors don't want to pay this. They want to pay this.
100%. Yep. So you have to know how to price it. You got to know how to buy it. Like you said something poignant earlier. You make your money when you buy.
Yeah.
right? So you got to look at the numbers, be able to analyze the deal relatively quickly. The benefit to you and I having been in the market so long, I say this in my presentation, but it's like if you give me a zip code and a square footage, I can tell you what that house is going to sell for within reason. Do you think you can do that?
Totally. Oh,
like
yeah.
You've been around the block so many times, it's like you know the market. But if you're somebody new to the market and you're not sure how to do it, you got to make analysis decisions really fast. And that's where having a strong advisor on your team can make all the difference. Well, Rob, this has been amazing. We're getting to the end of the show, guys. If you've got any questions, I know we got a couple viewers still watching right now. If you've got questions for Rob Reinmuth of Acquire Homes about real estate investing, about foreclosure or anything, please hop in and comment with us. But Rob, we talked about the future. Do you think it's going to be fun? Do you think we're going to see a big rash of foreclosures? We're going to go back. Am I going to see you on video again? Because I want to see you.
Oh, you'll see me on video. Yes, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Even in a good market, there's opportunities.
100%.
Even in a bad market, there's opportunities.
You just got to jump on them. You got to have the ability to jump on them. I think people hesitate when they're first getting started, though, right? They don't know how to buy. I mean, do you deal with that with your clients where it's like, this is a great deal, but they're gun shy? They're not sure if they want to pull the trigger. And how do you get them over that reluctance?
Yeah, I just basically tell them, well, you people's emotion will get to them, and I don't want to look like a salesman. I mean, look at how you and I talk. You and I talk like really fast, like sales guys or something. We're not sales guys. We're just excited about everything that we do. Okay, so it just gets us excited, right? Yeah. So I try to not come across that way, like I just want a commission from you, or whatever, because I want to genuinely help them make money. Because when they make money, I make money, and so. When they start getting cold feet, I just go, okay, whatever. And then if they get cold feet too many times, I'm done. I can't help. I got to make money too. And, going down to the auction, I used to help investors. We'd come walking out with 6 properties or whatever. Well, after it started getting harder and harder, I'm going to the auction every single week and breaking into all these houses every single Tuesday for weeks and weeks and weeks and not making a penny.
Not worth it.
You guys are on your own now, man. I got to make money.
And it's funny. My coaching program, to my own peril to some degree, comes with a guarantee that I will stick with them until they make a profit on a deal. You know what I mean? But agents, because you're compensated to do deals, you can't hang out with them if they're gun shy. If they're not, if they can't pull the trigger, it's not worth your time. So again, a variable between your model and my model is that I'm kind of paid up front to stick with them. Right. Yes. Whereas because you're only paid if they do a deal, if they're not quite ready, they're not going to be a good fit for you long term. That's totally okay. Again, that's why there's room for the market for what you do with established investors and room for the market for what I do or people who are just trying to get started. So I'm so excited. Rob, I am really hoping in the years to come we get to do a lot of deals together. I know the market's shifting back that direction to where the investors are taking over. Again, I know you feel the same. So it's going to be an incredible couple of years coming up, and I'm excited to work with you. Any parting thoughts, anything you want to tell the people about real estate investing, foreclosures, anything? You give me some wisdom on the way out.
The last wisdom I have is when you're investing in the stock market and you retire, there's a bell curve. You save money all the way to the end, and then it goes like this. It's called the bell curve.
Yes.
In real estate, there is no bell curve. You're going like this, and your properties keep growing. Yes. And when you retire, they keep growing, and all you're doing is going like this.
We don't usually get this much visuals on the show.
You just put money in your pocket, man. That's all you do.
Baby. I love that. That is such great advice. You got to get started somewhere, though. And like you said, the key is to start taking action right out of the gate. Buy some deals, do flips, do rentals, do something to start building that money in your pocket situation that you just described.
That's right.
And that people, once they get there, that's your clientele. You're living proof that it works if you stick with it. So
that's right.
Thank you so much for the time, Rob. I'm sure people will be reaching out. Look for Rob Reinmuth at Acquire Homes Real Estate. If you have any other additional questions about real estate investing, you got a huge portfolio already, and you want to talk to a very large veteran in the real estate investing space, Rob will be happy to work with you. Thanks for the time, Rob. I really appreciate it. Guys, you heard it right here. Rob Reinmuth of Acquire Homes just told you the market is now in a state where investors are going to make a lot of money. The reality is you can make money in any market, up market, down market. It doesn't matter. The critical thing is that you take action and actually start doing deals. So if you're looking to do just that, you want to get started, you want to do a deal, slide up in my DMs, will you? Let's set up a time to talk about real estate investing and see if my program is a right fit for you to get started in real estate investing. With that, this is Donnie Corum, your your foreclosure deals coach, thanking you so much for tuning in each and every single week and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy